What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I am your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, of course, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. We, of course, are back with another amazing episode. Let me give my quaff a look and make sure that I am in order. Find Rex's bad side. Guess what? You can't do it. My guest is here. We're going to dive in immediately and chop it up. That's what I like, when we just jump right in, man. So I'm excited. You're excited. Let's go. We'll get him in here. Walt!
What is going on, man?
Hey, there he is, man. How are you, man?
I'm hanging in there.
It's always good to have you on here, man. And first of all, man, congrats, man. I love the EP, man.
You do?
I love it. Yeah. Why do you sound surprised?
I'm always surprised when, someone hears something that I created or made and they like it.
Are you really? Even after all these years and all the success, man, it still surprises you. That sounds super humble, though.
Well, that's just me, That's how
I guess.
Great.
I guess I wouldn't want you to sound like a pretentious rock star and say, "Well, of course you did. It's amazing."
Yeah,
that wouldn't be real cool.
No, but most of those people have made a lot of money.
They did. Yeah.
Fills up real big, like, yeah, I'm the man now.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of those out there, those kind of rock stars that you're talking about. There are.
For sure.
I think the worst thing is, though, man, is I think when people get to that platform and then they use it and they think that they're more important and their views are more important than anybody else. Like I just recently saw, and no offense, I don't want to hear it in the comment section from any John Cougar Mellencamp fans, but he just stopped the show because people were getting pissed because he was going on and on and on about his politics, and people paid to hear music.
Yeah, the fans don't want politics when they come to see a concert.
Yeah.
Or, it's like going to a dance and no one's dancing because the mayor want to talk in politics.
Right. Now, I don't know where this was on my radar or why it hadn't popped up, because it's been out there for a while, man. But I just, especially in anticipation of talking to you today, I watched the documentary from 2011. First of all, I don't even know why I didn't know there was a documentary made in 2011, but,
Yeah, way back. I think that was before I got back in the band.
Yeah, I'm referring to Everyday Sunshine. Did you like being part of a documentary, the whole process behind it?
I like certain things about it, and then certain things I don't like about it.
What is it? A lot of dredging up the past?
No, dredging up the past would be good for the kids to know the real true history of what goes on in the rock and roll world. So it's always good there. But the whole process of doing it, the lies told to you why you're doing it, you know what I'm saying? You try to put your heart out, and they lied to you in the background.
What's a common lie that you're told when you're making a documentary?
Okay, like one of them is, I asked them if they're gonna use live, uncut live stuff that I've collected over the years.
Right.
And I'm gonna give all of it to them if they could make it digital, all that stuff, and send it back to me digital.
Okay.
They did none of that.
But they told you they would.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Shenanigans. Yeah. That's not cool. That's bad business.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bad business, man, right there. Bad business. Yeah. And there should be some type of a trust, especially, when you're bearing your soul and you're giving a candid look at a band that's been around for that many years,
Yeah. Should be at some level of trust, but people don't believe in that. They don't believe in their goddamn word.
What do you think was the most, when you look back, and we'll certainly talk about Year of the Dragon, but when you look back on your long, illustrious career with Fishbone, is there one moment, maybe an album, maybe a tour, maybe a time period where you look back on and say, this is where we were really hitting, firing on all cylinders? Is there a period of the band where you would say was the most fruitful, that you enjoyed the most?
Well, the last one when we had Kendall in the band.
Yeah.
We was doing that last project right when he was going nuts and all that, you know what I'm saying? that project, I thought after that project, we was gonna do something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't work out. It wasn't in the cards.
Now, for people that are watching this, man, and just because you worded it that way, when you say Kendall going nuts, I think there's a lot of speculation and swirls around what went on there. Obviously, it was highly publicized. Norwood had to go to court. There was kidnapping charges. There was all kinds of crazy shit going on, man. Do you have anything to say that could clear it up for fans in a nutshell, what was going on in that period of time? Did Kendall just want to just flat out leave the band, maybe leave the music world?
Well, to be truthful, we don't really even know what Kendall wanted. He was just going through some things, decided to go up north to see his pops or whatever he needed to do. And Norwood, I guess, thought his pops was going to kidnap him or take him in. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
The situation just wound up like that.
Yeah. So it was just a crazy time.
Crazy time, crazy occurrences, just insanity all around, everywhere.
Yeah. Now, speaking of insanity, man, I want to get your take on, like, you guys worked. I don't want to say worked. You did a song with Little Richard.
Well, that's like a Fish.
Huh?
That's mostly Fish, the drummer.
Yeah. Drummer. Okay. So, did you have much interaction with Little Richard yourself?
Just when I'd see him on the street.
Okay. What do you think of him?
Shit, he's the king.
The king, right? One of the greatest rock and roll singers ever.
Oh, yeah. You know, he just got old and decided to, you know, hang out with Jesus and ride around in his limo and all that kind of thing, you know, pop out on you.
Yeah. You can do that when you get to be Little Richard status, though.
There you go.
Yeah. And another guy you had in the band who I think doesn't get enough credit, man, for his impact as a guitar player, man. Now, how much time were you in the band with Rocky George? A good amount? Yeah.
Rocky were roommates.
Oh, you were? Okay. So what's your take on him? Because I feel like, and I'm thinking of the stuff with you, the stuff with Suicidal Tendencies. I feel like, man, he's not mentioned enough as what a great guitar player he is in those genres.
Well, you know, Rocky George is a spectacular, special kind of guitar player that belongs to a whole lot of conversation.
He does.
You know, he's a jazz man that plays heavy shit, and the things that go on in his mind, his guitar player mind, is crazy.
Yeah.
But he's one of those. Let's put it that way.
When you guys started the band in Los Angeles, man, 70s, 80s, there was a lot of gang activity there, man. You know, were any of you guys close to being pulled into that life, caught up in that?
Just me.
Just you, okay.
I'm the only Crip in the band.
The only okay. It's official.
It's always been official.
Okay. And so did that ever interfere with your involvement in the band? How was it perceived by the band?
Well, it's normal for us in our area because, you know, either you win or you ain't.
Right. And how did you end up in?
Well, you know, we grew into it. We all lived together on the same block, same street, across the street, down the street.
Yep.
You know, every day we meet up, do wild, crazy things together. Next day, we're dancing together. We all got a dance group. We're trying to get it on.
Yeah.
We fighting. I don't know why we fighting over dancing, but it's fun. And then
hey, people out in the world are fighting over stupider stuff. You know what I mean? So
you know, people killed over stepping on shoes.
They are. You're right. You're right. You're right about that. And so, you know, you're out there in that time. Did you come across any of the I don't know, for lack of a better term, the more famous Crips? I don't even know who the famous Crips would be. Tookie?
Well, Big Took is the king Crip.
The king
the king of the Crips.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hang out and get something from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Information, knowledge.
Yeah.
Some kind of skill set or something.
Where did you stand on the fact that they executed him? Obviously, it was a pretty famous case. Arnold Schwarzenegger did not choose to pardon him, even though, for people that don't know, he tried to do a lot from inside the prison walls to help kind of, turn the whole cycle around.
Oh, yeah. No, I hated every moment of that.
Yeah.
That gave me a whole another taste in my mouth for Arnold. Especially when Arnold used to lift weights with him. He must have hated him back in the days, in the Venice days.
Yeah.
Together and stuff,
But the guy was trying to do good from inside the prison walls, though. You know what I mean? And yes, I know they're not going to let him back out, but you could have at least commuted his sentence to life and let him continue to write the books and try to reach the youth.
Oh, yeah, we'd probably be at a way different spot right now.
Yeah, you're right. I think so, too. Yeah, you need a voice like that, especially one with, as the kids would say, some street cred.
That's right. He got all the knowledge you need to know what you're here to go through.
Yeah.
And don't want to go through.
Right. He's been there. He's lived it. Yeah.
All prison. So, it's a bad loss, but they always try to give us loss in the hood.
I know. And so what was the fork in the road? Where you maybe could have gone full gangbanger and then ended up in music.
Well, I was already full gangbanger.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I slipped into the music on an invite from Norwood to come over to his house.
Okay.
It was in the hood.
So you were on his radar. He knew that you had musical ability.
Yeah, that's just from being in school.
Okay.
So he was trying to meet people that were in the band and the music system in at Hale Junior High School.
And then so you, as a street guy, man, like when you meet him and Angelo and those other guys, for lack of a better term, man, you know what I mean? Did they seem weird to you?
Not really, because
No.
I met a whole gang of different people, So only weird one is Angelo. Like from straight out the hood, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would imagine he'd be a lot for a street guy to take in,
I'd have to protect him when he comes to the hood.
I'd imagine you would. Yeah, that couldn't be a good look for him making his way through the hood.
All eyes are on him every time he come in, no matter what it is.
And so it's probably just because of his eclectic nature, right? The fact that he is a little off center.
Yeah, he's a extrovert.
That's a good way to put it. That's a politically correct way to put it. Yeah.
Wants to be seen.
Yes.
But wants them to see him like he wants them to see it.
Right. That's a good way to put it, Walt. That's why you're the poet that you are. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. I wasn't coming up with the right terminology, man. But you spent decades in the band with him, man. So you hit it spot on the head right there, man.
We all brothers in the game. We've been together through so much, and
yep,
you know who people are.
Yeah. You're a student of the game. You're a student of life. After a while,
there you go. Always every day. And
so I mentioned at the top of the interview, the EP is out, Dragon Burn. So what are you guys doing right now? I'm looking at the itinerary. I see an isolated show coming up with Green Jelly at the end of this month.
Oh, yeah. Doing some shows, putting ourselves out there for people to see and experience Year of the Dragon. So, we're trying to do many things. But certain pace.
Are you a guy that looks back, like when you put out an album or an EP in this case, are you a guy that looks at feedback? I know there's a lot of websites out there. There's a lot of, especially with the internet nowadays, everybody's a music critic, a sports critic, a political, voice. Everybody can get their opinions out there now. You know what I mean? Are you a guy that goes to these sites and says, hey, let me see how people are receiving the EP. Let me see what people are saying. Or do you just put it out there and say, fuck it, it's out there. Whatever people are going to like it, they're going to like it.
Well, for me, I pretty much just put it out there. I suspect they'll pretty much like it if they hear it.
Right, right.
So I enjoy seeing what people hear or see from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their own area in life, if they're ready for that or not ready for that,
right,
or think it's garbage for whatever reason. I want to know why.
Do you take it to heart? Like when someone, if someone does go on there and they have a harsh criticism of it, personally, how do you take that?
That's their opinion.
Okay.
The way I'm going to take it hard is like, oh, I'm going to kill you when I see you.
Right.
So that might make me go, oh, I got to find this sucker.
Yeah. This person can't be out there walking the earth.
I ain't having
that. So when you guys do the EP, one thing I do see projects get criticized about, and maybe this is because attention spans are not what they used to be. Do you guys sit around as a band and have conversations about how many songs or how long you want a project to be? Like this is 6 songs, which in today's world feels right. I don't know if 10, 12, 15 song albums anymore even make sense.
Yeah, because, everybody's attention span is so short right now.
Yeah.
Best thing to do is try to hit them with a little something.
Yeah.
And can even take that in.
Yeah.
How much money and time and ideas are gone by and got crushed, and you doing like a 30 song goddamn double.
Right.
Right now ain't the time for that.
It's not. I agree with you. I think you chose like the right amount of songs. I don't think people are coming home right now from work, dropping the needle on an album and sitting there listening to music for an hour or two. They're not.
No, unless they're a big time music person.
It's sad that they're not, because that used to be the norm. I remember coming home from school and playing albums front to back and then flipping the tape over and keep on playing them, Yeah.
Well, them days is gone.
Yeah. We're too busy, I guess. Too many distractions. Too many distractions in life.
Distractions. Now you got the internet.
Yeah.
All kind of things to distract you.
Are you a guy, because you're an old school guy, man, are you a guy, where do you stand on technology? Are you a big internet guy?
Well, as an old guy, I just try to stay in tune with what's going on as best I can as we grow on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it ain't doing me no good to stay in the past.
Right. Right. But do you sometimes look back at the past, though? Like I'll have my kids ask me sometimes, a curiosity about the 70s or the 80s or whatever. And there is a part of me that thinks, damn, we did have some things really good back then, though. Some things I would like to go back to.
Oh, yeah. We had some lovely things.
Yeah.
But, some things do come back, but in a different way.
Right. They manifest a different way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But do you think technology is good in terms of like the way that we're consuming music? You know what I mean? Like, are you a vinyl guy, or do you like the fact that there's streaming platforms exist now where you can just go to a device and find anything you want music wise?
Well, I enjoy like having, 1,000 albums in my pocket.
Yeah, that's nice. That is nice.
So, I could pick what I want to listen to, walk to, talk to, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that right now. That's the future.
That is the future. Yeah. Now, do you like, are you able to find, you're talking about all those albums in your pocket. Are they mostly stuff that is from the past, or can you find new shit that excites you?
Well, it's mostly older stuff that I grew up in,
me too.
Wrong with. And then, if I discover new stuff, I'll throw that in there too.
Yeah.
But it's rare these days.
It is, right? Yeah, it's hard to find. Now, why is it rare, though? Is it just hard to find something where you feel like it hasn't been done already?
Yeah, a lot of it's copycat. I want to be like this group or that guy.
Yeah.
There's no originality no more.
Right.
And then when you find an original one, you hope they got, just the grit to keep you in there.
Right. To be doing something interesting that you want to keep listening to.
There you go. Like,
Yeah.
Say something crazy this next record.
What do you think of bands? And there are a lot of them out there right now. Your former band FISHBONE even being one of those bands. Where do you stand when a band maybe only has one or two original members and they're still going around? You know what I mean? Like, obviously those guys still have to make a living, but when you're going to see FISHBONE now, you're only getting, I believe, just Angelo, right? Or is Chris in the band as well?
Chris, yeah, Angelo and Chris.
Okay, but then you've got a bunch of other new guys, though. What?
Huh?
But then you've got a bunch of new guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, as long as the new guys can stay up to par with what FISHBONE is all about and been about
since
the beginning, and they got that in their head and they execute that way, ain't going to be much problem.
And now, because you have a band now, man, and FISHBONE did put out an album in 2025, but you're not in the band. Do you pay attention to what they do? Will you listen to it? Will you critique it on any level to see what they're doing?
What, FISHBONE?
Yeah.
If they make a new record or something, I might listen to it one time, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'll know what the whole situation was for them to get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully it's a song or two I might like.
And I think people would be curious because you did start out in the band in 1979. For fans that might not know the whole story, or maybe fans that are, familiar but not super familiar, you left the band in 2003. I think maybe musicians out there or fans of the band might want to know that because you left and came back a couple times. When you left in 2003, and I think you weren't the only one to leave. I think you and Chris both left in 93.
No, Chris left in 93.
Okay.
I stayed till 2003 or something like that.
2003. Okay. So, 2003, you and Tracy both left.
Yeah, that's what me and Tracy. And we was gonna start back up with Sound Barrier, try to do the new Sound Barrier.
Okay. So when you leave in 2003, what was the impetus? What was it over? Just not getting along?
Yeah, it was just too much craziness. Dudes not, they just people wanting to run everything and do everything they way and this way and that way. We were not getting along, nothing was working right. It was a waste of time at that point.
I think people don't realize, man, how hard it is to be in a band with and cohabitate with other people. It's difficult.
Yeah, especially if y'all ain't got the same kind of personality.
Yeah, I can imagine it's probably difficult. But then you do come back in 2010. Now, when you come back into the fold in 2010, 7 years have gone by. What's different, and how do they get you back into the band?
Well, shoot, I don't know. I guess I went back to a show to see a show or something like that, or Trulio, or it was either Trulio. I played in Trulio just to jam, and then I went to a FISHBONE show just to check out the show.
Okay.
I was like, man, they ain't got no damn. I need to get back up in there.
They need me.
I was getting that call in my head that they need me to come back. But, when I come back, I'd already toured like these world tours with Chili Peppers and REM. And that's a whole nother touring experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I could try to uplift these dudes to get closer to that.
Yeah.
They just change a couple things here and there, you know what I mean? But they ain't hearing that. They ain't want to hear that. And when I came back, they didn't want to hear that.
What was the stuff that you feel like you learned or wanted to enlighten them with that you had, what are the takeaways from touring with REM and with the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Well, one thing is, once you can establish yourself as, institution that everybody knows and loves, you can relax and deal with the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
Instead of just running around, hate. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at this. Why is this? Why is that? It is a conversation that needs to be had every time to smooth all that stuff out.
Yeah.
But never want to have that conversation.
So now, you feel like when you look at a band like the Chili Peppers or you look at a band like REM, you feel like that communication amongst their members is there. There's a love, there's a commitment, there's communication in those bands.
Hell yeah, to get the job done.
Yeah.
To get the job done without no trauma, no you know, just negative thoughts about your own damn band members, your own brothers.
Right.
Only want to get the best for you, but sometimes they stray and they want what's best for them.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm gonna do this because it's good for me.
Right.
Not us.
Right.
Don't care. And then you got a problem.
And so how has that narrative changed with Year of the Dragon? You know, have you used your experiences? And when you start a new band with new players, how do you get everyone on the same page and avoid those same pitfalls?
Well, Year of the Dragon has meetings.
Meetings. Okay.
We have meetings. You know, we form ourselves a little brotherhood where we can talk amongst each other freely. But, you know, we need to keep working on all that as well. Just like every other band that, you know, has been together for a long time.
I think that is so wise, man. And I don't know if that's a common practice amongst bands, but I love what you said right there, though, man. Just get the boys together and communicate.
Yeah. So then you'll know what's happening. If it ain't working, get rid of somebody.
Right. But on
to work with.
But on some level, when you came back in 2010, it must have been good for a while, though, because you were back in at that point for another 14 years.
Yeah, I had a dream.
Yeah.
The dream was starting to formulate. And then once it started to get where we were actually in the dream, actually trying to execute, everything started to go haywire.
Turned into a nightmare?
A nightmare because everybody else had their own ideas and theories and, you know, thought that they could make it better.
Yeah.
As I had, you know what I mean?
But when you say you had a dream, can you elaborate and expound on what that dream was? When you come back in 2010, things are starting up, you know, you're back together, it feels kind of new again, you're reinvigorated. What was the dream at that point?
Well, the dream was that all the OGs would get back together, do this magnificent art piece, and then be brothers after that to continue on for a little longer.
Okay.
And then, you know, be able to say, let's go ahead and give it up and do something else.
Now, did you ever suggest during the Fishbone years, because it sounds like you figured this out, you know what I mean, like through the stuff that you've been through, but was the idea of meetings and communication, as you're talking about with Year of the Dragon, was that ever proposed or put on the table during the Fishbone years?
Oh, yeah, we would have meetings and all that. Phone calls, all that, you know. If we're brothers, we're going to meet. You got it. You know, so we would have meetings. We go over to like Chris' house or, you know, meet in the park. You know what I mean? Like when we were all getting together for that last big Fishbone kind of reunion with everybody, with all the OGs.
Yep. But why did those meetings not have the same effect? Why did they not have the desired effect? Obviously, the meetings are keeping you guys united, keeping you guys communicated in Year of the Dragon. You know, what was the slip up with the meetings with Fishbone? Was there just not enough communicating going on? Were people's ideas not being heard?
It's just a different kind of communication.
Okay.
We so much as a band, as a people.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say it like this. The meetings did a good thing because we're at least civil to one another.
Right.
They can call me anytime I'll talk to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the best part.
So, so with that being said, do you feel like, I don't know, is it one of those never say never things? Do you feel like the door is always open to once again re-enter Fishbone, or has that chapter closed definitively?
I think that door is closed up.
Okay. Okay.
How many times you need to stab yourself in the foot before you say, I cannot stab myself in my damn foot no more.
Right. I do see your point. Yeah.
You know,
Trying to give a sliver of hope to fans of Fishbone, man, that maybe they might see Dirty Walt back in there again. But you know what? It is good at least to be honest and candid about it. If it's not going to happen, better people know it's not going to happen.
all I like to do is tell the truth.
Yeah.
I try to be real with everybody.
Yeah.
And right at this time, the real is I ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah. Do you feel like I remember some points of the documentary, man, especially at the beginning, where some of your contemporaries, the guys in Primus, the guys in the Chili Peppers, Perry Farrell, a lot of guys were saying we're almost confounded by and questioning, because you guys were so diverse, such an interesting band, attacking it from so many different genres. Can you put a finger on why you feel like Fishbone wasn't bigger than they actually were? And now I don't say that with any kind of malice, because I mean, amongst your fans, obviously, you guys are huge, amazing, an eclectic bunch of musicians. But commercially and maybe globally, are you able to put a finger on geez, we were doing some interesting, cool, out of the box shit? You know what I mean? That other bands have done, maybe not even to the degree that you have, but I mean, are you able to put a finger on it?
Well, see, yeah, corporate don't like people that has a mind of their own.
Okay.
So if you tell them at any time to go shove it, put this on because we'll know it'll work, and they don't do it, they refuse to do it, and we know it's the thing, that's when the battle starts.
So you feel like creatively you guys were stifled and silenced sometimes?
Sometimes creatively,
yeah.
Sometimes, on the company political levels, because they're trying to put out a certain thing. They want you to be a fucking copycat of somebody else.
Right.
Or do a song that somebody else wrote so they can make their money off of you and them.
But aren't labels, but wouldn't a label, I guess maybe some people might not understand the rationale. Aren't most labels, especially around the 80s and the 90s, aren't they out there supposedly trying to find the next big unique thing? Don't they want a band to be unique? Which you guys certainly were.
So they can take them off the market and hide them in their company.
Yeah.
So the other artists that they promote, they don't get in the way of and take money out.
Okay. Now that makes sense. And that's probably a look at the business side of things that a lot of people don't see and hear.
Oh, exactly. That's why a lot of these musicians go crazy.
Yeah.
Come in the office, start tearing some stuff up.
Yeah.
So my action, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they would take a band that's interesting and doing diverse stuff, a la a band like Fishbone, and then sign them, and then try to suppress what they do so they can get other artists ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Create other artists off of their back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like this has been done to? Well, obviously it's been done to other bands outside of Fishbone. You know what I mean? Even without naming artists, have you seen other examples of this happening, or in your immediate, in your immediate life?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You could think like Bad Brain.
Sure.
Through their whole history.
Yep.
There's other 24/7 Spy.
I was just going to say them. I figured they would be a band like that too. Like, why didn't you hear more from this band? This is a great band.
Yeah, exciting band.
Yeah, exciting.
Living Color, they where they at because they at least got a hit or two on.
Yes.
And they still using those hits today.
Yeah.
So that gives them a certain aura of lovability.
But even though they got a couple of hits, though, man, they are a band that should have even been bigger than they were.
They should be in the stadium right now.
Yeah. And now you named off Now you named off, you know, and I don't think it was a coincidence, man, but you named off those bands, and they are bands of color. Does that have something to do with it?
It always has something to do with it.
Yeah.
It always starts at the core, and it goes hardcore, and then somebody do something else similar. They'll promote the hell out of that because that group will do what the hell that company is telling their ass to do.
Right.
They're not rebellious.
Right.
That's what makes that music that music.
Right. Right.
See, so they promote them, get them all the accolades in the world, tell them they started it and all that.
Dirty pool going on.
All day, every day.
Do you almost,
since I got in the business.
Do you almost think that the music industry, as far as the business side of it, is better now because the labels and the infrastructure doesn't exist that much and bands have to be a little more do-it-yourself nowadays?
You can do it yourself now. That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But it's still be a struggle. And
yeah.
once a certain level on your own, like making the proper money, instead of keep building on that to become your own entity, your own superpower, people get lazy and hear that money clinging in their head.
Yep.
And when they hear that, that's when they start selling their soul.
Was there a point in time during your career, man, like where you guys, you know, even when Fishbone was really rolling and enjoying the, you know, their own success, was there a point in time when you got kind of disenfranchised with the whole thing and wanted to quit? Were there times when you wanted to quit, not Fishbone, the industry itself?
Well, we wanted to crack the industry at all costs.
Yeah.
We was like, oh, we want to be equal to whoever's the top. If it's Earth, Wind, and Fire, we want to be equal to them. If it's P-Funk, we want to be just as good and all that as them. You know, whoever it is, if they in the business, they sign, we expect the same they get.
Right.
But it don't work out that way.
Do you feel like some of your contemporaries, especially out in the Los Angeles area, they're out in the California area, do you feel like any of your contemporaries, your friends in the industry, tried to help you out? Like, obviously, like, you guys have been out with the Chili Peppers. You guys have been out on, like, bigger tours with the Beastie Boys, I think was your first tour. Do you feel like there were bands who did recognize the genius of what you did, and for whatever their intent was, they did try to help you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, most of them is like brothers to us.
Yeah.
Just in general. So, you know, we would go out with whoever, whenever, as long as it was a good time.
Yeah.
Do
you like touring?
When it's done right.
When it's done. Do you like it at this point? Do you like it in this point of your life because you've been doing it for so long? As you get older, is it harder to go out on the road now and tear yourself away from, you know, the comfort of home?
Yeah, because it's just too much going on at home now that my wife is down.
Yeah.
And, you know, touring for me is not that happy a thing right now.
Okay.
Because, you know, I'm touring on the low end of the scale.
Right.
Low end of the scale, it's always a suffrage.
Yeah, that's true. So the wife is not happy to get rid of you.
Oh, never.
Well, that's a good thing at least, right?
Well, one would think that, but if you do this, you ain't trying to hear that.
Right. Right.
You know, you can't do what you got to do. You still ain't trying to hear that.
Right. And you know, it's interesting though, because we are talking about wives and stuff like that. How has your musical career impacted your family life? Yeah, I mean, like, you know, how have you been able to maintain both worlds?
I don't know. Well, my wife, you know, she grew up with the business. You know,
Yep.
she was, you know, she used to be a housemate with Perry Farrell and them in the early days, the early James days. So she knows about all this LA punk rock, Hollywood gatherings and people and stuff. So we'd always run into each other that way.
Okay, so she's tolerant of it then. She understands what it is that you do.
Yeah. She used to perform with James Addiction show.
Okay.
One little sample back in the day. So.
And so did she not want to pursue, you're saying she performed with James Addiction. Did she ever have aspirations of being in the industry herself?
Not like a musical artist.
Okay.
Different kind of artist.
Okay.
A floral designer by trade.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Used to do Michael Jackson, all the top stars.
Wow.
Back in the day. Name the star, they probably had some stuff done by.
So making stuff look pretty.
Oh yeah, exotic.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you believe, man? Do you believe because of the lack of an infrastructure in a music industry right now? I had someone mention this on my podcast the other day, where there used to be industries and labels, used to put a lot of dollars behind superstars and kind of create these larger than life personalities like a Madonna, like a Prince. Are those stars able to exist anymore? If not, where do we find them?
Like a Madonna or a Prince?
Yeah, I had somebody make the point that the label is kind of what created those people. You know what I mean? Because they put a lot of money behind them, though.
No, those people are who they are.
Okay.
Their Prince is Prince. Madonna is Madonna. Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. These people see their talent
and capitalize.
They grab it up, buy it up, capitalize on it. Promise them they're gonna promote. Promise them that they're gonna do this. Promise them they're gonna do that. And if they deliver, and it's looking right, then they'll everybody get what they want in a kind of a dreamy way.
Right. Right.
We don't know what be going on behind the scenes.
Right.
With the until you really talk to them like you talking to me.
Well, obviously we saw that with Prince because he wanted to get out of his contract and then he started to become a symbol and then he was trying to get out of his, and then when he got out of it, he started warning artists about not getting into contracts.
Yeah. He learned, didn't he?
He learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he tried to get people to come and record with him and not have any contracts, anything binding, just a handshake and an agreement.
Yeah, because that's the artist's way.
Yeah.
You're an artist, you just say, come on in, man, let's record and do some stuff. No skin off my back, your back. Let's see what happens.
Right. How early in life did you become interested in the horn? Because obviously, you see people, musicians early in life, everybody either wants to be the front man or they want to shred like Eddie Van Halen or they want to bang on the drums or whatever. How did you get drawn to the horn?
Well, my pop drew me to the horn.
Okay.
Because he was an old army MP kind of cat.
So there were horns laying around all the time.
Yeah, he had a little bugle at home. And he would blow taps, reveille, all the open stuff.
And so then one day you just started picking it up and playing with it?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I kind of do this. Let me see how far I can get. Then I could blow the tune. Then, I guess in what, third grade, start playing the trumpet.
Wow. So you've been playing it a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And so.
Learned good, though.
Huh?
Didn't learn well, though.
Why do you say that?
I look at the kids today and their trumpet excellence. It blows my mind.
Okay.
And when I look at my whole trumpet career, I just want to beat myself in the head.
What? Come on, Walt. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit.
No, I had to learn a lot of things from real pros.
Right.
And dudes to even get to where I was at.
Right.
It's always been a struggle for me in my mind. So the struggle goes on.
But I do feel like, though, you know, regardless of the musicianship, which I think, of course, I'm not a musician, but I think the musicianship, you know, is incredible in Fishbone. But you guys also made up a lot with what you guys did live in the energy in those performances.
Oh, yeah. I just say I'm just different enough, or we're different enough to just to make us stand on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
To make it, you know, to
right.
people.
And so what will be next for Year of the Dragon? How soon? So you put out the EP in July.
Yep.
How soon do you start to think about the next project? Have you started writing? When will it be? How soon do you, because nowadays it seems like in the music industry, it's easy to put music up on the streaming platforms, and it seems like we're seeing a lot of singles, we're seeing a lot of EPs. It almost seems like people don't want to be yesterday's news. They don't want to be forgotten about. There's so much music out there, man, that people are putting stuff out rapidly. So what's the work pace going to be like for Year of the Dragon?
Well, you know, we got Dragon Burnout right now.
Yep.
We're trying to get that, you know, heavily out there.
Yep.
So at least get it in the household, get familiar, get pumped up, and go. The time when they go, I can't wait for the next one.
Right.
We got to be ready to drop that next one.
And so are you always writing? Are you always writing? Do you feel like you try to do something creative every day, or do you take days off?
Well, at this age, at this pace, I got to take some days off and think.
I hear you.
I don't want to put out no garbage.
Right.
I don't want to put out something that I'll regret.
And how do you know, like, what that is, man? Like, you know, if you step back and you look at songs you've created, how do you decide what makes the cut?
Well, after I do it and perform it the way I think it should be performed,
yep,
I had to stop, listen to that, let it ring in my mind a few times. And if I hear anything that don't sound right, that throws me off, that makes me go, what the hell is that? Then it's back to the damn drawing board.
So you are in some ways a perfectionist.
Not really. I wouldn't call myself that.
Okay.
But I want to enjoy what the hell I'm doing.
Okay. Okay.
If I can enjoy it, someone else will be able to enjoy it.
And for people that know what you did in Fishbone, and it's hard not to because, you know, they're a band that obviously has been around for many decades, 40 plus years. What's the main difference that you see between what you did in that band and what people can expect if they listen to Year of the Dragon? In my opinion, it sounds a little more punk and definitely a little more metal.
Yeah, we're a little more hard edge in
Year
of the Dragon. You know, we want to sound like a dragon as opposed to a fish.
Right, right.
So, you know, we doing dragon music. We out there trying to rip a head off, burn the street down, just give them some intelligence they can use.
Yep. Spitting some flames.
Flames all day.
Spitting some flames. Yep. You got to do that, man. Yep. I mean, listen, that's the Dragon's calling card, right? Burn some shit down.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
And so do you feel like 6 songs, you know, getting back to that, because it does feel like it's more of an EP world now. Do you feel like you made the right decision? Does the 6 songs feel right? And was there songs that, you know, as you talked about, if it doesn't sound right or whatever, were there songs that didn't make it?
Well, there's always songs that didn't make it.
And what happens to those songs? What happens to those songs out of curiosity? Are they gone forever, or do you just put them on the back burner and say, maybe we can flesh these out and rework them?
Well, a little bit of all that.
Okay.
If it's really terrible, you probably won't hear that song. Somewhere, you know, you'd be lucky if you hang out with one of us here. Yeah. But you know, we just keep pressing our songs until we go, yes, we got a set that we can put out. You know, put out a longer one eventually, but we try to get them at least to hear us.
Yeah. And now you have assembled and an amazing band around you. Outside of you, I've had a couple of the fellas on. You know, we mentioned earlier the struggles you had in Fishbone. Do you feel like this lineup that you put together with Year of the Dragon is a solid one, that everybody's rowing in the same direction, that everybody is invested in this, and this will be a good, stable lineup, you know, that won't get fractured, that won't have people leave and come back? Do you feel like you're in a good place with this lineup?
Oh yeah, I'm in a great place with this lineup. This lineup is nice. It's comfortable, like a comfy chair.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? But as any and all bands, things can change.
That's right. That's right.
You just got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to stay on top of the conversations and the mindset of what's going on in your band.
And I think that's good for young bands to hear. And I hope they key in on some of this stuff because, you know, you have been in a legendary band, you know, for 30 or 40 years. You know what I mean? I think sometimes musicians, especially nowadays, you know, where in some ways they do have it easier. Maybe they don't have the support of labels and the money behind them, but you can make music and just stick it up on a streaming platform. Whether anybody gives a shit is a different story, but you can get it out there pretty easily. But what I want people to key in on is how hard it is to make a band work as far as the you know, the personalities and the conflicts. I think that's what people don't realize. It always starts out great. Just like a marriage, there's a honeymoon period. Everybody's getting along great, high-fiving, making music, loving life. But there is a side where people become people eventually.
Oh, yeah. You always got to judge your people by if they're real people.
Right, right.
Don't bring in no weirdo, no freaky deek that you looking at like a damn circus freak every day.
Right, right, right. That's the kind of dissension you'll end up with dissension. Now, I've had Fly and Jay on. I've had Mark on. You know, these seem like really amazing guys, man, who really take the craft of making music seriously.
Oh yeah, they're serious about everything. Like the way they speak to you, they're serious. You know, they don't take things too far. They're they're intelligent cats.
Do you feel like they look at you because of everything you've been through? You know, and you putting this band together, do you feel like in some way that you're kind of the elder statesman? Do they look at you as like the band leader?
Well, I am the band leader.
Okay, so you take that role on, and you feel like that's a role that somebody in the band has to take on. Do you feel like it makes things work better?
No,
because
the way I look at it, in band situations, be a band.
Yeah.
All their damn opinions count. Everything they say matters. Is how we're gonna work it out.
Right.
In the end of the day. And it ain't always up to the leader, because the leader might be stupid.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah. There's a lot of stupid leaders out there and stupid people that end up in leadership positions.
So as a leader, if I'm trying to be a real leader, I got to listen to the intelligence of my intelligent guys I got around me.
Right. A leader listens sometimes.
There you go. And then a positive outcome out of all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's got to do it. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
That's me. You know, I always been the center of everything, trying to be the heart of it. So that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I love the EP, man, and I love the fact that I can reach out to you, man, and get you on here and catch up with you, man. I always appreciate it, man. I love what you guys do, man. Love what you do. Love catching up with you, man, and I appreciate you doing this, man.
Oh, anytime. You holler whenever you need.
I will, man. Thank you, man. We'll do this again for sure, brother. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Yep, good talking to you, Walt. Later, brother.
Peace.
Later. There he goes, folks. The legendary Dirty Walt Kibby. You know him from his many, many decades in legendary, and I do mean legendary. I was gonna go into genres, but then I don't know what genres do you put on a band like Fishbone? Funk, ska, punk, rock. I mean, listen, they encompassed it all. So yes, from 1979 to 2003. And then again, from 2010 to 2024. Let me add that up now. I'm not always good with my math. 79, 89, 99. So 25 years plus another 14. I mean, call it the guy was in the band somewhere between 35 and 40 fucking years of his life in FISHBONE. Created amazing, legendary music, toured the world, put on some of the most incredible live shows. I don't know if there's many bands out there that equal the energy and the passion and the ferocity of a FISHBONE show. And now has a, I don't know what let's call him new band, but I mean, the project is new, just came out in July by his current band, Year of the Dragon. The EP is called Dragon Burn, 6 songs, which in today's musical landscape feels right. It's all killer, no filler, comes on, hits you in the fucking teeth, boom, hits you over the head, and then it's out. And it's awesome. I mean, I'm partial because I love what Walt does. I've had other guys from Year of the Dragon on. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Flying J. So listen, I love what they do. Love what FISHBONE does. But I would say Year of the Dragon is a marked departure in a lot of ways from FISHBONE. So, you know, if you're expecting to listen to Year of the Dragon and you know Dirty Walt's involved, don't expect to hear FISHBONE. It as Walt said, it is much harder edged. Definitely more of a punk / heavy metal element to it. But it is awesome though. It is awesome. And me being a metal guy, I appreciate that. I love the fact that it leans a little more into the metal side of things. It's a great little EP. So go out, do yourself a favor, feast your ears on Dragon Burn by Year of the Dragon. Go to their website, check out where they're playing. If they're coming anywhere near you, check them out. You want to see these guys throw down in concert, believe me. And just go check out the music. They have other projects, but as I said, the newest one dropped on July 18th. The EP, as I said, Dragon Burn, Year of the Dragon. Again, I thank Dirty Walt Kibby. At this point, I think he's like Unk. You know what I mean? I think we discussed that the last time, man. Love him, man. Always appreciate his insights, talking openly and candidly about the dynamics of being in a band, being in FISHBONE, you know, cohabitating with other guys, with band members, what works, what doesn't work. So young musicians, heed the wise words of Dirty Walt. He's been there, done it, gotten the t-shirt, so he knows of which he speaks. And young musicians, guys starting out who think that a band is going to be all sex, drugs, rock and roll, and I'm just going to love and get along with these guys forever, and it's going to be cohesion and harmony all the time. Be forewarned. And that's not to say don't go ahead with your musical dreams and aspirations. Not to say don't be in a band. Just proceed with caution. And as Walt said, keep the lines of communication open. Have band meetings. Talk. Hear each other more than even the talking. That's what I'm taking away from some of the pearls of wisdom that Dirty Walt dropped on us. So again, I always appreciate catching up with him. I'm proud to know him. I'm proud to be in contact with him. I'm proud to enjoy his music and have him on here as a guest and call him a friend of the podcast. So always appreciate him. My sincerest gratitude to Dirty Walt Kibby. Hope you guys dug that episode. Now I'll get into promoting the podcast, or as I like to say, pimping it. The pimp hand is feeling strong today. Even though I worked, it's feeling pretty strong. I'm pumped up. So here we go. Make sure to tune in to PodScum on Facebook. Both of my podcasts actually are on one Facebook page. I'm way too lazy to carry 2 Facebook pages. People say, Rexx, why don't you have a Facebook page for both of your podcasts? I cannot be bothered with it. It's too much. So you can check out both my podcasts. The page on Facebook is Off the Couch Boxing and PodScum. You'll get updates on new episodes, when I am dropping them, and who will be on those episodes, along with any other big news, whether it's popping off in the boxing world or the music, arts, and entertainment world. I try to keep you guys in the loop and informed. So anything that pops up on my radar that I feel like pertains to my audience and I find interesting, intriguing, I will put it up there. So definitely tap in with us on Facebook. And of course, if you're here right now, like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell to stay tapped in. That's what we do here, folks. We have amazing and real conversations. We're bringing back the art of conversation. Old school. That's how we do it here. I'm 52 years old. I am from that school. Old school. And I'll tell you what, it's the best school to come from, in my opinion. These new generation cats, they don't even know how good we had it, man. I'm a 70s and an 80s kid, man. I love it, man. And so we go old school here. We kick off the shoes and we just chop it up. We're all over the board with it. Never know where we're going to move or where we're going to go. You know, we might be talking boxing. We might be talking music. We might be talking mental health. We might be talking life. We might be talking spirituality and religion. No matter which podcast you're tuning into, we move all over the board, folks. So make sure to tap in with us, man. And again, another great episode in the books. Again, my thanks to Dirty Walt Kibby. Appreciate having him on here, man. And pull your ear close. Heed my words of wisdom now. This is your boy, Reckless Rexx, reminding you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.